The noise of the lobby spilled into the elevator as the doors opened. There was a sense of familiarity, hearing the sounds of adventurers going about their day. Inside the lobby, adventurers would be choosing jobs or turning in the documentation of the tasks being completed. Adventurers would also be bringing in the bodies of monsters to trade with the guild, who would then process the large creatures to either be made into food or raw ingredients for supplies. James followed after the others, stepping out of the elevator. He adjusted the helmet on his head, somewhat out of a feeling of self-consciousness. His eyes noticed a few of the adventurers that pointedly stared at his group. Just shows how much the guild has invested into us, James thought to himself as they all headed to the entrance of the guild. At least we don't need to wait in line, Adam casually remarked. James nodded, appreciating that they didn't need to go through the paperwork with the guild, having arranged everything. We'll still need to check in when we approach a guild branch, Raul said. Even with how much leeway the guild is giving our group, there are still things that we'll need to do. I can only imagine what will go through their mind if we were not to report our progress. Adam laughed, though his eyes didn't reflect the humor. Raul grunted in agreement. If we don't report in and give an update, it likely means that we have failed. James filled in the unspoken words in his mind. Though James and his group would be okay being able to revive at a nearby branch, Mim's group would be forever lost. If such a thing were to happen, it would be unlikely that James and his group would be able to continue on with the request. And, by the branch manager's words, there wouldn't be enough resources to help Forest City with surviving the consequences of our failure, James said to himself, trying not to imagine everyone in the city being devoured by the endless wave of monsters. The sun was still high in the sky as he stepped out of the guild. In front of the guild, on the road, wagons and other vehicles were making their way to their destinations. There were also people from all walks of life that were enjoying the day. Even the business owners had smiles on their faces as they talked with competitors about the health of the market. We'll be now heading to the entrance. Then, we'll make our way into the forest, Mim explained as they walked. Now, we get to start the puzzle, Celine sighed. Mim clenched his jaw slightly as he nodded. It was a strange feeling as they walked to the entrance into the city. James couldn't help but watch the people around them. If it wasn't for their peculiar mission, things would be normal for them. The mission that they were on caused him to be quiet as they walked to the entrance. It wasn't similar to the dark cloud that hovered over them, but likely due to everyone being lost in their thoughts. Trying to figure out why the monsters were behaving differently wasn't going to be easy. It was even more the case considering an organization like the Adventurers Guild was unable to make a determination. Forest City wasn't a tiny branch in some remote location to just represent the guild. Though the city wasn't the most critical location, it still served a function that was vital to the guild. James adjusted the pack on his back as he sighed quietly. His eyes looked at the line of people that were waiting to exit the city, which they were quickly approaching.